Hello, folks. I'm Detroit Miracle. Yes, and indeed. I am here to talk about the stuff that people do, the stuff that people activate in their lives, the things that people do around them, and the way that people look in terms of their behaviors. Like, you ever seen a sweet, innocent looking woman? She looks pure, adorable, innocent, and then she turns into a pit bull, tiger, rah, she turns into a monster, a vampire, a gargoyle, a werewolf, all in personality. Then I was like, hey, I thought you were sweet, innocent, and pure. Now you turned into a monster? How did that happen? So that's a case where looks can be deceiving in ways. So, like, I know you're not going to trust somebody looking evil, sinister, and crazy either. You're really not going to trust them. So you're more inclined to trust the sweet and innocent, adorable looking woman, or in general, all people that show a type of good nature in their behavior, personality, and impressions. Yeah, so that could be misleading. It could be truthful. It could be partially true, like half true, like where like in a fact of the matter where they mean it and don't mean it. In other words, like that. So it's like you can trust half of it, and then you can't trust the other half of it. I know those situations tend to complicate life in ways. You ever hear that expression when somebody tells somebody, hey, you have a dizzying intellect? And that means when somebody is telling you something, they're adding complexity to it. They're not adding simplisticness, or they're not simplifying the matter any. Instead, they're making it overcomplicated. And there are those out there like that, such as a sociology teacher of mine in college. Like that, he was teaching like how you talk, and you're not, and you using metaphors and things like that. I'm like, man, come on, can you speak English? Can you say the stuff directly, like in the most simplest ways and with the most simplest words, so that the class can learn? Because why complicate the situation by telling them like 15,000 English words that are sophisticated and elaborate? Like, bring it down a bit, bub. In other words, if you want to get the message and the meaning out, you have to make it more understandable. You have to simplify that. Yeah, so yeah, I wound up passing that class too. I don't know how. It must have been by a prayer, because all those words he was saying, I'm like, wow, I didn't learn those words in school, so I don't know that they exist until he said it. But so they apparently are around, so I got to do research on those big words. Yes, and then when you take a class, a hard class, or a sophisticated class that's not like gym, swim, lunch, then you got to use your mind and think about the stuff you're going to say. So yeah, so people, when you send messages and give clear-cut statements, try to simplify it. If you want your meaning to get out to the whole world and you want it to be understood by all ages, then simplify it a bit. You don't have to sound like a 2-year-old child by saying, bah, 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 bah. You don't have to make it that simple. In terms of the first kitty words, the simplest words to say, mommy, daddy. But you want your messages to be clearly understood. That way they will be received better. Yeah, all right, folks. It was nice talking to you, and I'll see you around. Indeed.